All right. Episode 21. We right back at it. We call this one 6 foot, 7 foot. Yo, I gotta take the time. We we gonna do this one with the tallest dude I know. Yo, Mr. Hines, I bet you didn't know that was gonna be the lead. But honestly, I think you're the tallest dude I know.
I wouldn't have expected the tallest, man. You've played a lot of basketball. I would have figured I would have been I was probably one of them, but I wouldn't have thought the tallest.
Now there were passerbys. To your point, yes, there were some passerbys, but like I got you in the Rolodex. I know you, so I meant in that fashion. Yeah, some drive-by dudes. Yeah. I might have thrown a oop once or twice to another guy, but you the guy I know. You the guy
Got
I
the height.
know.
They was athletic. I got the actual height for it.
Yo, when I'm out here selling wolf tickets, that's what we say where I'm from. But when I'm out here popping my gums and telling people, you the dude that got in the back of my mind when I'm like, oh, it's like 6, 7 of y'all. Man, I got my own peeps. You the dude I'm thinking about, even though you don't live where I live. But in my mind, I feel like you close enough for me to be brave. That's the way I see it.
That's a good way to look at it. I agree with you on that one. I don't find any suggestions otherwise in that. So I kind of agree with you.
Mr. Hines, since we talking about the height, I got a hypothesis. Help me out here. When is the last time you actually was in a fight, like a fist fight? Because I like to say sometimes when you're as tall and as big as you are, y'all don't really have to throw them hands like normal folk. So I'm going to say middle school for you. That's maybe a pushing and shoving on a basketball game in high school, but like the last time somebody really tried you, I'm going to say middle school. What say you?
I want to say the last one. Now you'd be surprised. Definitely in college, man. We got
Oh,
some. College was the last time I was in a real fist fight, and that wasn't even on the court because we had our own squabbles then. But
yeah.
this one was actually with a football player.
Oh,
So
yo. All right. So for the listeners, this gentleman went to Hampton University. You're a pirate. You're a pirate. That's a tall pirate.
yeah,
It's
I'm
a rather
tall
tall
fight.
pirate. But bruh, explain this to me. Why it always gotta be basketball players versus football players? Why y'all always beefing, man? What's that about?
Honestly, I think it's not intentional. I think it just comes across. Basketball players, they always come across as the cool type. We're
Right.
the cool guys. Football players are the heavy hitters, are physical. They're aggressive. We're kind of laid back,
Yeah.
and but just because we're laid back, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that we don't. We won't fight if you need us to. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I think it was, it's always those situations where it's like they just push a little too much and we
Yep.
just got to push back then you get a different basketball player.
So I talked about earlier. Don't worry, listeners. I'm joking. I'm a lover, not a fighter, and I ran track. I wasn't a basketball player like Mr. Hines, so I may have to avoid a thing or two. But Mr. Hines, let me help you with your math because I know you're a basketball player. You're not that quick with it. Um, I know he in Georgia, folks, so I got away with that one. But Mr. Hines, at most y'all had 12 to 14 players on your college team. Bruh, you do know y'all were outnumbered by the football team, but yet on every campus across America, there's always beef. Y'all always outnumbered. Why?
You know
Why does
what?
it still happen?
The one thing I'll say is basketball is it's a smaller team.
Yeah,
So that means we travel in the pack more often than the football players.
this is true.
Football players, they might be with their position groups, but they're not gonna be with their whole team like that. So
Okay.
it ends up happening like that. We end up being a couple position groups together against the whole team, and the numbers always work out for us then.
All right. Hey. All right. Okay. So, all right. Let's get back to. So you went to Hampton. I'm a little curious. Well, hold on. Let's put these stats out. Tell me, coming out of high school, what was those stats? Height and weight.
High school, high school for me was different. So when I was really, I came from Texas, and when I was coming from Texas, it was mostly baseball and actually football. So when I came to Virginia, and I started coming up in the basketball scene there. Basketball actually was a late sport for me, so I actually ended up playing like baseball and football all the way up to high school. So it wasn't really until like my junior senior year that I really got like a foothold in basketball. And when I got to Hampton, that's when my numbers really took off. But like coming out of high school, it was modest numbers. It was 10 points, 6 or 7 rebounds. I wasn't really doing too much, but football I was a lot better. But by that time, once you get 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", you start going that high. It's like, man, I don't want to get broke up on the football field.
So, well, LeBron was actually quite the wide receiver back in Ohio, back in Cleveland. He had some opportunities. So let's back up on you here. What part of Texas did you live at in Texas?
Dallas is really, and the area was really Richardson, Texas. It was like north part of Dallas.
I'm familiar. Okay. So you a Texas dude. And
Yeah,
then you came to VA. I'm going to say that automatically helped your SAT score at least about 150 points.
For sure. That helps with everything at that point.
Okay, but I'm intrigued now. What position on baseball? Here's my guess: first base. You got to put the tall dude at first base so you don't overthrow him. Where'd they put you?
They had me at first base, but I ended up switching up. I was outfielder and third baseman.
Wait. You had wheels over there in the outfield?
The outfield and third baseman. I was faster when I was younger. It slowed down since I got taller.
That's all right. This is your Al Bundy moment. We talking high school. We talking how good you was. All right. So then third baseman had you on the hot corner. Oh, that glove must have been kind of nice then. Had you over in that hot corner.
Yeah. I had to have a good one. I can't remember. It was a Rawlins, but I can't remember the type. But it was a good glove. It was mom spent a pretty penny on it.
Hold on, big man. Hold on. You must have been pretty athletic too, because you got to get down. Some of them balls is coming down low. You could drop that backside and that glove and get down there, and ain't nothing in there.
I could get low for that third. Yeah, I was. That's one position I was all right at, so that's why I stayed there.
I've never seen someone with your dimensions over there, because I could just imagine you could gobble up. Man, that would be amazing. I never really thought about that. I've always seen him over at first base. Okay, so I'm liking that. Football. What position did you play in football?
DN and like wide receiver, tight end. Really, really DN though. I had that bend. I could get around that edge.
I see. So you had moves, or you were out athleticizing, not a real word, people.
I had a nice dip move that I used to do. A dip move, and I really had to spin back. Like the spin back, I was good at. I was good at doing that spin back when you come back into the inside, to get the quarterback. But when you playing in the end, you got to really focus on being contained. But back when I was playing, every QB wasn't running up and down the field.
So you knew where they was, and it was
they weren't moving that much. They was moving just enough, so it was easy to get to them. But I had a couple good moves. Really, was that dip. When you dip that arm under, and you come back for that spin move. You just come up on that. And that usually worked for me all night. Then I would play tight end and wide receiver, but we were really full on tight ends and receivers. We had a lot of tight ends and receivers, but because of my height, I got used mostly down there to the goal line.
Yep.
That jump ball.
Yeah. Oh, I could see you boxing out.
Yeah.
in that
That's
corner.
all you do.
Yeah.
Box out. Throw it in the corner. I got you.
Ain't nobody mossing you. You mossing them.
Nah, nah, when you got that height and you can jump a little bit, it's really hard. As long as you throw it up there, it's hard for them to really do anything with that.
Okay. So what you're saying is you had your own Travis Hunter moment before this Travis Hunter hype that's going on in Colorado.
Oh yeah, yeah. But Travis don't have that height though. He's a dog though. He's a dog though. He's a dog though. All right,
Yeah.
he's good. He's good. I had a little bit of hype going on for me back then. You know, that was in them old country sticks of Caroline. I had a little bit of hype going on back then.
No, this is what we need though, man. This is why we doing this. You
Yeah.
entitled to those moments because you did the thing. You did the thing. Okay.
Oh,
you decided to become a pirate. How did that come about? You headed over to the 7 cities? That's not where you grew up.
Yeah, you know it's not, and I definitely looked at once we you know I grew up in like Virginia as far as like high school, and so you know I would have thought Union, VCU,
Yeah,
some of those other schools, and you know stuff like Virginia State, you know any of those as far as you know somewhere to play, but I think it was more so just the school in general that I kind of liked at that point. So I didn't actually get I didn't get a scholarship there until like my sophomore year. You know, I had to walk on, but I didn't really. I didn't walk on. I kind of just didn't come on as a scholarship player. I had to earn it.
Right.
It came a little like initially it was you know I got in and walked on, but I never really had to try out. You know, I kind of just got there in the summer with my freshman class and was working out, you know, throughout that summer. And next thing you know, when the season starts, I'm on the team. So, you know, it worked out how it happened. But you know, I can't. I have no regrets with that school, man, because I love my HIU, man. Hampton was a great place for me, you know, to get my grassroots and get going.
So your freshman year, you were on the team.
Yeah.
You just didn't get the scholarship to the summer. Okay, whoo, man,
Yeah.
I was drooling. I was just thinking, if I am Joe Harry walking around Hampton, and Mr. 6', 7" ain't on the team, and he's just walking through campus, bro, you got to be on my intramural team. I can just imagine I fought a dude. That would have been a fight. I ain't going back to middle school. I would have picked a fight. Okay,
you got to come on, man. Come on to the course. We had the black top right outside. That's what they did the intramurals. I that freshman year when I wasn't playing, I was redshirt that year. I was out there in those intramurals then.
So who snagged you then? How'd that happen? Who got you on their intramural team?
I stayed in Harkness Hall, and my friend Akil, you know, he's from New York, you know, so you know they like their guards up there, and he was just, you know, we stayed on the same floor. He's like, bro, you know, can you play outside, you know, play intramural? And I'm like, yeah, I'm redshirting this year, so I'm really just practicing. You know, I'm not really playing, getting better, so I'll take that, you know, I'll take that bump. So we got out there and we did. Shoot, for all the games that I was there, we won. I don't think we lost but one game. And, you know, when I was there, we played like I want to say it's like 15 or 16 games. We not one. We only lost one of them. So it was he knew it was fun playing with me while they had me.
No doubt, I see that. All right, so while you were at Hampton, what did you major in while you was there?
So it's crazy. I started off with computer science. You know, that was what I started with, computer science. And I want to say halfway through trying to do ROTC and Division I basketball, you know, and computer science, it wasn't working. We would have it would be days where I would have workouts in the morning. Luckily, I could skip PT because I had conditioning and weights. So I was working out, but wasn't doing PT. So I could we would go to conditioning, then go to weights, Then some that mornings we'd have practice, and then we would go to class. And then on some days we'd have the practice later, like at 6 p.m., 3-hour practice.
God.
So I would have to leave there, then go straight to the technology lab and get on the computer to debug code. And
Nah.
so yeah, it was rough. That was rough. So I ended up switching so I could, I didn't, because if I'd have done that, kept doing that, I probably would have been at Hampton till 6 years. So I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But
I
I ended
with
up
the
switching
system
to,
plan, but
yeah, man, I'm telling you, I didn't want, that was not my plan. So I ended up switching to psychology. Uh, on I'm gonna say end of my junior year, I ended up switching to psychology so I could get out there in a reasonable time. But that's why I went to my master's program. So I had to
okay.
make it up.
Hey, look, ain't nobody in here with me. And from what I can see, ain't nobody in there with you. And wifey ain't gonna be listening to this once you tell her you was on a podcast. But yo, this
Right.
psychology major, you win every argument, don't you?
Oh, I'll push it to the limit.
She can't mess with you, man. She
I'm,
can't mess with
I'm
you.
pushing it to the limit. She can't. I'm giving her every angle, every angle.
Nice. I
I'm
love it,
pushing
man.
it to the limit.
I get. Hey, there she go. There she go. She just popped up. Oh, you didn't flinch. You didn't flinch.
Right.
He didn't flinch. For those who's just
No, man,
listening,
I'm pushing to the limit. I
okay,
got that,
you live life on the edge.
that mind. What Debo said, mind games? Debo said they playing mind games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I tried to shake him for those who weren't watching this on YouTube, but he didn't flinch. He a real one. All right, so welcome to Virginia. Virginia's for lovers. We got you over there in the 7 cities, Hampton. Something about the year 1911 started calling out to you, and it seems like you ended up. You said you were in ROTC, but I bet these boots ended up being gold, and you started rocking a lot of purple.
Yeah,
Tell me about
man. I saw that dog came out me, man. Once that dog came out me, it took over.
so how did that come about? Are you legacy? Like you got family? Like how did that happen?
Nah, you know what? It's actually I have one cousin, older cousin that this an Omega, that told me before Hampton. He was like, "Hey, when you get there, just you look for the bruh, look for the Qs, look for the Omegas, all that." But I didn't know what he was talking about. I had no idea. And when I got there, it's a funny story. Like when I got there, I was fully into playing basketball, ROTC, and other than that, I wasn't thinking about nothing else. So by junior year, I was fully enveloped in the basketball.
Yeah.
Was no other activities going on. I wasn't even going to half the ROTC stuff, all
Oh, you was one of
the
those cadets.
yeah, I was missing all of that because I was at games during season,
Yeah.
and I was gone. So I was fully invested in that, and I went to brother that graduated with me. Uh, it was like 2010. I went to him because that's at that point I was like, all right, I'm a little free time, so I went to him like, hey, I'm interested in your fraternity. He's like, bruh, you supposed to come to me 6 months ago. I said, what? Yeah, he said it was too late, man, and before we graduated. So I went to grad school to play for VCU that next year in 2011. I went there to get my master's in computer information systems, and I met up with Coach Shaka and started practicing with them. And the team that went to the Final Four,
Yeah.
I started that practicing with them. I was playing with them up until I want to say sometime in September when
Yeah.
NCAA came back with the eligibility and said I already spent all my years up. So I ended
Yo.
up missing that year because I couldn't play. And from that point on, that's when I was seeking in the Qs, in Richmond while I was at grad school. So I had no basketball to play. It broke my heart. I couldn't play that year.
Yeah.
NCAA. I didn't know because that last half semester I was at Hampton, I didn't play. I kind of just sat out because I knew I was going to grad school. But had I known, I would have played. But
Yeah.
NCAA don't tell you till after.
Yeah. After the fact.
After the fact, but 20, yeah, that's around when I got real interested when I was in Richmond, and I started seeking with the Omega Psi Phi right around that time, right around that
Yeah.
fall.
Okay. On behalf of any other bruh that wanted to be an Omega Psi Phi, let's just say you at the entrance meeting, and then this big Hines foot dude come walking up in here. The first thing, especially if you're the ace, the first thing you thinking is, oh nah, bro. Nah, man. I can tell you the first thing, that dude ain't putting no weight on me. Nah, man. Nah. So I already know you was the tail. They can't be unless you crossed with Shaquille O'Neal. Ain't nobody taller than you, so you all the way at the back. Tell me what was the line name for 6 foot, 7 foot? What was the line name?
Well, actually, my line name is 6'9".
Okay. Okay.
Number 9.
Yo.
He kept it real simple with it. Dean kept it real simple. I said, all right, I'll go with that.
Okay. I like
My LB got the cool one. He got the cool one. They called him freestyle because he could freestyle. Yeah, he got the good one. So
yeah.
I was jealous of him a little bit.
They used it all up. They used it all
Yeah,
up.
they used it all up, man. They used it all up.
Fine, we'll make this dude 6'9". We done with it. But freestyle though. That's what they
Yeah,
got.
yeah, that's a good one.
All right. So after you crossed, did you ever? How long did it take for you to find that cousin? I think it was your cousin, right? That told you. When did y'all finally cross paths?
I crossed like that had to have been the next day. The next day, he went to Union, and that was the next day. We met up at the hole over there at Union on the plot. It was good to see him. He's squad. He's Zeta chapter at Union, so it was fun to go see him there.
That's legit. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's a proud moment, I bet.
Yeah,
see,
that was.
That's my cousin right there.
That's cousin.
Yeah, he probably takes credit for all of it.
He's bragging it the whole time.
Yeah. All right, so you said you grew up in the sticks. Where in Virginia exactly? I mean, what abominable snowman, Bigfoot crawling through the woods self? Because I know there's some footage of you crawling through some woods or something, mistakenly 6'9". Like where did you grow up?
Yeah, man. Especially because I'm a fisherman, and I was walking through the woods to get to them fishing holes. So, I know it was some farmers that probably got scared of a big 6'8", 6'9", guy just kind of walking through the woods. So, but I grew up after coming from Texas. Because my dad's side is from Texas, my mom's side is from Virginia. We went to the area called Caroline County, which is, if anybody knows where King's Dominion is, that's what people either that or the fact that Secretariat is from where I'm from.
No.
Yeah,
that's a mic drop right there. Yeah.
I'm from the town of Champions.
Yep, clearly. Yo, I did not know that. Secretary, dude, you just gave me one other thing to add to my resume. When I like to throw that 2 up, 2 down to people. I put it in their face. I'm in Texas, and I be putting it in their face. So
right. Hey, Secretary, he's from right 10 minutes up the road is where his farm is, where my mom stays.
Athletes. All right, so you got back to Virginia, your mom's side of the family. Are you the tallest?
I am the tallest. No, I am not anymore. My nephew, he is He's taller than me now.
What?
He's
What?
16.
What? 16? What? How tall is he at 16?
He's a true 6'9". I might be like 6'8".
Yeah.
He's got an inch on me. He's got an inch on me. He
You think
definitely.
he's still growing? You think he might get even more?
Oh yeah. He might hit 7 foot. He might at least 6'11". At least 6'11".
Is he
At
an
least.
athlete? What's he doing with that height?
He's not an athlete. He is actually he's a nerd. You know, he's a that's his thing. Computers, game development. You know, that's his thing right there. He's really smart, but he's
Yeah.
just never sports. But his brother is an inch shorter, a couple of inches shorter. He's the athlete. He's playing basketball.
See,
He's
this
playing.
is where I was trying to get. We're gonna come back to because excuse me, Mr. Hines, you do know you went to school for computer science, right? So
I can't really talk, you know. So it's I can kind of follow him behind me, except he just didn't play any sport.
That's kind of dirty. But man, y'all growing big, yo. If his brothers are inch shorter, that's where I was trying to get at. So is that that's the genes? Because you said your mom's family. Is that your mom's family's genes or the pops? Where's all that height coming from?
My dad's side, because he was 6'4". He's 6'4". My sister, she is 5'11", 6 foot. I mean, now their dad is 6'4" too, so they're getting some height from him too.
How tall is your mama?
My mom is only 5'6", 5'7".
And she got a 6'9" son. How'd that happen?
Yeah, I don't know how it happened.
Look, no, I know inquiring minds want to know, bro. How big was you when you was born?
Oh man, I think I actually was smaller. I wasn't even a big boy. I'm trying to remember the weight. I was only like 8 pounds.
Man, that's still that's kind of big, bro. That's heavy.
Yeah, I guess you could say I was like 8 pounds 2 ounces or something like that.
Oh, that poor lady.
I guess my sister, she was like 9 pounds, so she was bigger than me.
Hey,
yeah.
What is in the Texas? What in the Richardson water?
Texas, some of that Texas PA.
Everything's bigger in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. All right, so if now we get to we're gonna start getting to some hard stuff. I gotta ask you some hard stuff.
All right.
What is your best sport?
My best sport?
Yeah.
By virtue of I played it more, I'm gonna say basketball.
All right.
Only because I played it more.
You brightened up. When we was talking baseball earlier, you brightened up, yo. I just need you to know.
Yeah, when we got to Virginia, man, it's like the mindset shifted, man. The baseball was no longer pushed on me like it was in Texas. In Texas is football and baseball.
Yes, I do.
They push it. They push it heavy. So when I came to Virginia, it was football and basketball. So it was those were baseball was kind of like the off to the thing, off to the side. Like, all right, you can get good at that, but you need to be good at football and baseball, basketball. So it ended up working like that, where I ended up being better at basketball. But coming out of high school, I would say football. Football was my best sport. We're going in, then I went to college and everything, and I took a whole other level once I got to college.
I wanted to get off of it, but I gotta come back to it because you just said something. When you were playing baseball, did you get a lot of stolen bases? I'm thinking with your length, it sounds like you were athletic, wide receiver, tight end. You were a runner. Did you get a lot of stolen bases? What did that jump look like?
I could jump to get the, if I'm running to get the base, I had a good jump on that, but I wasn't that aggressive. See, you're aggressive. You're aggressive. You were stealing bases. I was the one, I'm gonna bring it on home.
Okay. So were you a power hitter? Did you have a little bit of that? You had a strong bat?
Yeah, I could hit.
Oh,
I had a strong back. You know, I could hit. I could hit.
I've
I
never
was
hit
I
one of
was
those.
young. You never hit one? I've hit a couple. I hit a couple of them over the fence. I hit a few of them over
Oh,
the fence.
in the park.
I could definitely hit I could hit that ball. That's the one thing I could do. I could hit it pretty far.
Oh, that's cool. All right, so we haven't gotten to this part, but I need to know, what would your peers say to describe you?
Man, uh, fun, loud, boisterous, outgoing guy,
Okay.
but definitely a jokester. You know, because I'm gonna jab you a couple times.
So you don't blend. You show
I,
up to the party, people know Mr. Hines is in the building.
they know I'm in the room, but I'm not the one that sticks out like a sore thumb. They know I'm in the room. I vibe with the room, even though I'm 6'9".
I was gonna say.
Hey, even though I'm big, I definitely get the attention, but I vibe in with the room. You know, I don't take too much attention.
Man.
But I'm definitely loud, so I mean, I guess that could be like opposites in that sense.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, spoiler alert for the listeners who are getting to this podcast. I already mentioned it before. This gentleman is spoken for. Sorry about that. No, a lot of ladies heard that 6'9" and that tall, dark, and handsome was kind of exciting.
They
Tell
were looking.
us, how did you meet Mrs. Hines?
How do we all get our lives? We were all drunk, you know.
What? No.
Oh man,
No,
right.
man. Oh, wait.
So,
So your game was nice while you was drunk?
I was I would say my game was nice. She might not say that, but I would say my game was nice that night. It got her it got her number, so you know that's all that matters, you
That's
know. So
all that matters. I don't care about her version.
yeah, your version, you know, I'm telling you what I know, and it worked. So that's what I'm going with.
Okay. What's your drink of choice when you out doing your thing, Mr. Hines?
When I'm
What do
doing
you
my
like?
thing, you know, my drink of choice is always keep it chill as a Jack and Coke. I keep it real chill with a Jack and Coke.
Okay.
Sometimes I do a straight Woodford's, you know, straight Woodford on the rocks,
Yeah.
something like that, you know. But typically, just to you know, if I'm out there starting, I'm gonna get a Jack and Coke. If they make a good old fashioned, I might try that out too. But I
Yeah.
typically stick around that Jack and Coke and Woodford's.
All right.
Well, I'm a bourbon drinker.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. A gentleman's
Yeah,
choice. I see. A gentleman's choice, indeed.
choice, exactly.
All right, besides, we gotta get to some serious things. We gotta get to
All
some
right,
serious things. All right.
calm down.
If you had an opportunity to retire anywhere, where would it be?
Anywhere. You know what? I would say Tanzania.
Whoa, hey, yo. See, this is why we ask these questions. Bro, you gotta add a little bit more to that. We need some context. What is going
Man,
what in the Tanzania caught your attention?
Tanzania, you know, is a place where it's, you know, you're near you're near wildlife, you're near culture, you're near the water, you're near everything that you can need as far as a settled down life or retired life or just relaxing. And honestly, you go off the coast and you go to like some of the islands over there with Seychelles, and that's where you really want to be. Right in that area, Tanzania, Seychelles, those
Yeah.
beaches, some of the best water, you know, that you would step foot in out there. So if I had to pick one spot to retire in, those would be the areas I would go. Tanzania, Seychelles, that whole nice little vibe over there.
I'm getting some woodsy, some outdoorsmen, some adventure vibes from you. You mentioned Caroline County. You was stomping through them woods, heading to some fishing holes. I hear you when you talk about Tanzania. That was all outdoorsy stuff. This is who you are. You not a. I thought you was like computer science. Like I thought
So
you was uh your middle name is Cletus, and you could get under a Ford and change the oil.
Right. Now, you know what? It's funny coming up in Caroline. I end up, like being that part of my life. I was working on cars, so I could get under there, change brakes, change calipers, change starters, all alternators, all that type of stuff. And
Yeah.
then I would be fishing and hunting with a lot of my family members and friends back in there. So, I'm an outdoorsy person by nature. I just have an interest in computers, so it's a weird I'm an athlete too. It's kind of a weird like,
Yeah.
but it works out. And I'm still in touch with my tech side, but I like to go out there and fish and be out in the open and get nice and dirty.
Yeah. No. There's layers to you, brother. There's layers to you, and we
You know
appreciate
that,
that.
you know
That's what
that.
makes this interesting. That's why we got him, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we got him. But we're not done with him yet. You said some hunting. What? I've never been hunting. A lot of brothers ain't never been hunting. What is your desire? You go for the deer? You out here going after wild hogs? Like what you like?
So when I was hunting, I never really went on the big game ones like the big deers, the big pointers. I was hunting a lot of like squirrels, rabbits, field
Yeah.
mammals and stuff. Like those. That's where I kind of stuck to when it got to the hunt. I have a few cousins that they'll want to go out there and sit in them tree boxes for them deer. I just didn't have the patience for that. I wanted to go and get it. And unless I'm fishing. I don't have that kind of patience. I want to, fishing. I can go out there and I can try a bunch of different spots and everything. When you hunting, a lot of times you sitting, especially if you're looking for deer. So
We not done with this. We not done with this hunting. This inquiring minds. There's more they want to know. Okay, so first of all, it sounds like you're a good shot. You shooting that little small game like squirrels and a rabbit as fast as them things been moving. Sounds like you're a good shot.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty. Last time I had to qualify, I got I think I shot a 38 out of 40. So
Ooh.
yeah, I think I'm pretty decent.
Okay. How do you catch a squirrel or a rabbit? Because let me remind you, Mr. Abominable Caroline man, you probably make a lot of noise going up through those woods, and
Mhm.
Bambi and Thumper and them be running off. How are you catching these? How does this happen?
Well, the squirrels, you kind of hit them from a distance, So
Okay.
you gotta once what we used to do is once we'd have not a shotgun but a rifle that
Yeah.
we would and a lot of times we would probably be 50 meters away. We could see about it's about 50. Sometimes a little bit shorter depending on how close you can get without them being spooked. And a lot of times you want the ones that are just sitting there. Once they're sitting there and they're chilling and they're in their own little motion,
Yeah.
line thing up and strike them down. Now the rabbits, those take a little bit more patience because they spook a lot easier than squirrels. So it was those were a little bit harder. But I was good at getting them squirrels.
Were you iron sights, or you had that scope magic?
No, I was iron sights. It was, I didn't really, I didn't go heavy with all the scopes and stuff. Iron sights with it, just keep it, keep it simple.
Keep it hard, man.
Yeah, definitely harder.
Oh,
Definitely
I
harder.
can
But,
imagine.
but I think you get a better shot that way. But we had a couple times, we had rifles with scopes, but a lot of times, it was funner to do it that way because I mean, it takes a little bit harder, but.
All right, so out here in Texas, we got feral hog. We got wild hogs all over the place. You
Ooh,
own a stitch of land. Let me give you 6 acres.
ooh.
You might have a crop or two, but bro, they all over your land. Are
Mm.
you taking care of them yourself, or are you paying somebody to do it?
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna take care of a few of them myself as much as I can in the time that I have.
Yeah.
But I would probably go before I pay somebody to come do it. I would see if there's anybody that wants any hog. They want hog on their own, but I'm going out there my own first. I'm going out there to catch as many as I can first. You
You
know,
know, I see some videos every now and then. They got the night sights. They got the little heat visualizer,
yeah,
and they just popping them.
yeah, they let them have it. You should see the ones with the videos they got with those big circle traps where they get them in on those like
Yeah,
those mud pits, and then
I see.
they get them there, and it's like you have like 6 or 7 of them in there, and they just line them up and strike them down.
They be running into they run into that wall like, oh, I'm gonna knock this thing over
Yeah,
and over and over again. They do
they
that.
keep hitting it, man. Those I actually like watching those videos.
Yeah, me too. Although I don't do no hunting, but that, man, I'm telling you, if I had to, I ain't got to sit in the tree stand either, because you just got to wait for them to come out at
Wait
night.
for them to come out.
They
Wait
just
for them
running
to come out.
rampant,
I'm
and
going to
nobody
line
cares.
up. I'm taking them out. That's what I'm going after them first before I pay anybody.
All right, so right now there are no antlers in your house. You don't have anything from back in the day. I went to a friend's house. He's from Ohio, and this is when I lived in Virginia, and he had let's call it a 6-pointer, 8-pointer. It was big, and he had it on the wall. And I remember my wife saw that, and she said, we gotta get some of those. So I'm on the hook, and I need to know something. Do I let her forget that, or do I book us a hunting trip and we go get us a deer? What do I do? Because I still remember it. She wants some antlers in our house.
Ah man, I would say yeah. Take the trip, man. Go do it. Go try it out. But I would go. I would want to go for something nice. You gonna get some antlers? Go get some elk.
Oh,
Go travel, get some elk or something. Put some of them elk antlers up there. Something that's huge and different. It's deer everywhere. It's whitetail everywhere. So you can get one. You can get you a good pointer of the whitetail out there. But elk, if I'm gonna take a hunting trip and it's only gonna be one just to get some antlers, I want to get like some elk. Something big. Take a trip. Go get something like that.
So speaking of big and taking a trip, I went to Korea.
Ah.
I'm gonna reveal my age here, but this was during the years of Space Jam. I had a bald head. All the 6-foot brothers that was around me had bald heads. People asked us if one of my boys was Michael Jordan, if I was Muggsy Bogues. A few times I said no. Maybe once or twice I said yes. But you could judge me. But you've gone to Korea. Stereotypically, you taller than everybody that was up around them joints. How many times a day does somebody ask you if you played in the NBA, if you was a basketball player? Like, what was your experience like?
Oh man, that was daily. You get the stares, you get the points, you get all of that all the whole time because they don't see too. I mean, everybody is short over there, and everybody's like the same height. So it's like when they see somebody that's almost 2 of them staring over, you get a lot of eyes, a lot of stares. But I think they're nicer. When you're tall, they're nicer.
Yeah. That's one of the places I would retire. Wifey ain't trying to hear it, but they were so nice to me when I was over there. I would retire in that country, but it ain't meant to be. It ain't gonna happen.
Wifey will want me to retire in Thailand. She that's what she wants. That's her dream place.
For the money or
Anything else? The food, the outside, the nature. That's what she loves. She loves Thailand for that. I said, okay.
Have you been to Thailand?
I have not, but we're gonna make a trip of it. Maybe not this year, but coming up.
You're gonna try it. You're gonna see what it's like.
I don't know when, but we're going.
Yo, we had a high school reunion, and one of my classmates, he's living over there, and he says he's been there for, well, at this point, I think he done been there for over a decade. And he sent us a video or live streamed, and I just remember, he represented it well, man. He was just saying it's the hidden jewel. It's like he was like a real estate agent. He was trying to sell us to come over there with him. But he said some amazing things. That's the only person I've known. One of my good buddies that I know, he went back over there, and I saw some Facebook photos and whatnot. Godspeed to you. I can't wait to hear what you say about it. But I've heard good things.
That's the one thing I say. Like she hypes it up. So I'm like, if you like it that much and you think it's that great, we got to try it at least.
So for those who don't know, when you was in Korea, their counterfeit game is strong. What say you when you saw some things? I don't know if you're a sneakerhead. I don't know if you're a fashionable gentleman. Hey, what caught your eye and you was like, yo, I see how they do it. Did it surprise you, their counterfeit game?
You know what? It was the sneakers definitely. I definitely saw it firsthand. With the sneakers and the crazy one was they weren't even trying to. They weren't even where I went a couple times. They weren't even trying to cover up the prices. They just kind of was charging like retail regular prices, and I'm like, this is counterfeit, man.
Yeah.
But they have like I was surprised on how kept they are with it. Like you gotta be there like on a Wednesday night at like 10 p.m. In like Seoul to catch a lot of the counterfeit market for like all of the designer things. Like they have when we went out there, a lot of times it was you got to be there late at night, and that's when they have these big yellow tents up, and they're going and they got like just a big row, and they got like all types of just every counterfeit you can want. Can't come in there with your phone or nothing.
Wait, because you'll Google other prices or something?
Well, no, they don't want you. They don't want no. Well, you can come in there with your phone. You just can't have it out. Getting video, pictures, anything. They'll tell you put it away real quick.
Oh, just in case you trying to snitch and. All right, okay, hey.
They don't play with snitches down there.
All right, favorite basketball shoe of all time.
The Jordan 13 Flint.
Did you play in those?
I did. I had a pair. And it was a hand-me-down pair from my cousin. I loved them. I loved when I saw them. I was like, man, I love those shoes. So he gave me his pair, and I played in those in my what was it, JV 10th grade year.
Yeah.
I played in them for half a season. I was playing in those. Love those shoes.
Hooked after that. Okay. You got, let's just say, 40th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Vegas, doing it big. I just gifted you for the rest of your time in Vegas. You're going to be there for another week, another 7 days. I'm going to rent a vehicle for you, free of charge. I got the bill. And don't worry about the miles. You're going to get unlimited miles. What you want me to rent you?
Woo!
Money is no object. Money is no object.
I'm a big boy, so it's got to be something big.
Yes.
Gotta be something big.
Thank you. Because I thought, man, I was hoping you weren't going to try to fit yourself into something, shoehorn yourself into something just because it's sexy.
You know what? I would honestly want a Maybach.
Oh,
I have a Maybach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wait a minute. Are you driving it, or you want somebody to drive you around in it while you're there? Ooh.
I want the option.
Okay.
I want to drive it and the option.
Okay. Hey, I got you then. I can't.
I want the option.
I understand if that's the car you picking. I gotta get one of my cousins or even myself, but somebody got to be available to drive you in that thing.
Pookie and them need to drive it. Pookie and them need to drive it.
Nah, you don't want my cousin Pookie, man. Do you got a responsible cousin named Pookie? Because mine.
Might not be want to use him either. Now that I think about
it. Can any Pookie be trusted?
I don't think so. I think you might.
Dude, that car ain't coming back.
I won't.
We need the insurance on that one.
They'll drop me off, and then they won't come back.
All right. What is the worst thing a person could do to get on the wrong side of you?
to get on the wrong side of me.
What sets you off?
I don't. I wouldn't call myself a chivalrous or like the brave heart type guy, or, courageous. But I don't like seeing bullies. I don't like seeing like
Yeah,
people take advantage of someone less than in some way, shape, or form.
yeah.
And so that always kind of sends me over the edge, especially from in public. If I see something like that, that'll be the quick way for me to change from the nice, jolly green giant to somebody that you're not going to want to, mess with at that point. So I think, just being able to see that's something like that is something that always took me over the edge.
So for those who don't know, since you mentioned Jolly Green Giant, I gotta admit, man, you are a pretty happy-go-lucky, not take yourself too serious type of dude. I
Yeah.
respect that because when I played you, I don't intentionally foul, but I think I can play defense. And the times I played with you one-on-one or two-on-two or whatever, or two against one, I'm sure I fouled you hard and like you didn't get mad. There are some big dudes that get mad when they get fouled. I'm like, well, first of all, you're going to post up on people. We can't reach the ball, so we got to swipe at it. If we see it, we think we could get it, we got to swipe. You've been getting smacked your whole life. I feel like you have to deal with it. So why are you so chill? I don't understand. Why are you so chill?
Man, I've always, my mom always kind of came at me with, she said, "You're a big guy, and you can either have two things. You can have people be intimidated by you, or you can have people be welcomed around you.
Yeah.
So I've always been the type to, if I want to be intimidating, if I want to be scary in that sense, yeah, I could. But I don't think, I don't want to be that person that turns a lot of people off. So I'm always been a very chill, very relaxed and nonchalant guy that, I'm gonna vibe you, see how you are first. Now, if you turn up on me, I'm gonna have to turn up on you with your back. But,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, I tend to take it, especially when you're playing in the post. You got to take that beating. It's a physical game down there. It ain't for the faint of heart. You got to take that beating down there. I have teammates get mad at me because it's like, you're not calling that foul. I said, man, I don't call my own foul like that.
Who has dunked on you?
Man, I tell you this one time, it's it was in practice, man. It was my teammate. It was a kind of a setup though. It was a setup though. This is probably the worst and one of the only times. I feel like I've only been dunked on maybe like twice, maybe three times, if that. But this was definitely the worst, man. We were doing this drill. I forgot what it was called. Well, basically, we're defending a post move, but
Yeah.
we're defending it from the opposite side of the box on the other side of the goal. And my boy, he was a transfer man from I forgot the school up in New York, but 6'10", had bunnies. Yeah, had bunnies.
Oh no.
We did this, so he kind of drop step, and I drop step into to defend the shot, and he does and I jump up straight, and he does a windmill on me.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he did a windmill on me from the drop step. Shut the whole gym down for a little bit. I couldn't even finish the drill for a little bit. I was like, all right, man, look.
Did he
All right, man.
apologize? Did he at least apologize?
He laughed because it was just
Oh,
like he laughed. It was like that's my boy, so it was like we in practice, but that's all that It's funny that like when we were all together, probably about 3 months ago, that was one thing they all talked about. They was like, y'all remember that time Dante dunked on?
they still remember.
Yeah, they said, you remember that time you windmilled on Antwyne in the practice? I was like,
Oh,
oh man, y'all ain't gonna let that one go.
no, clearly not. That's. I'm sorry you had to relive that
Yeah, it's
twice in
all,
the last couple months.
all good. I had to live with that one, but I done caught a few bodies myself, so
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Did you ever kill anyone? And when I say kill them, did you ever catch anybody like was it Jason Terry got caught by LeBron? Was there any ones where you were just like, ooh, you felt bad?
Yeah, it was actually one like that. We was playing in I was playing in the men's league, before I went to VCU. It was like my last semester at Hampton. Actually, I was already out, but I was kind of just around the area. So I was playing in just immensely just to stay in shape and stay playing. And I was coming from the corner three spot, like running down to crash.
Yeah.
And one of my teammates was coming from like the top of the key dribbling, and he ended up catching me like right when I was coming towards the box
Yeah.
to jump, and he tossed it up, and I ain't even had to get down. I just kind of jumped right from there, probably maybe a step in, and the guy that was guarding him turned and jumped into me, while I'm already in the air, and I caught him, and he flew back. He flew back under the goal. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty bad. They almost shut the game down for like a minute because it was everybody was damn. It was bad. It was bad. But
Oh.
that was probably the best one where I was like, it was like chest to chest, like
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was mad at me that game. I was like, man, look, man, you got set up like that. That's not my fault. I just finished.
It happens. All right. I ask every guest, I believe in the 6 degrees of separation. I want to know who is the most interesting person in your life and what will you do to help me get them on this podcast?
Interesting person in my life.
It ain't got to be famous. If it is, okay, cool. But, this is just random. I mean, what if you had an uncle who was the first in your family to get a Rolls Royce? And he's always been, it could be anybody, but I want to know, and I want to know what makes him so interesting.
I probably would say the most interesting person that I've seen that I know off the top is probably a friend of mine. He was actually he played at Florida State. He basketball, and he was also right.
Hey, I need that tomahawk chop is real. I normally don't like on my sports show. I don't pledge allegiance. I don't want people to know. But on my podcast, bro, I'm Seminoles fan.
Hey man, he played for Florida State from that he played from what was it, like 07, around the same time I was playing, from like 07, 06, 07, about 09, 2010.
Yeah.
So he was on those teams, and he ended up going to Bolick with me out at Fort Gordon. Yeah. So but his story is so interesting is because he was doing signal with me. Was supposed to be a JAG officer, didn't get that. So then they ended up, like, when he was getting out, I told him, hey man, go into IT. He went into IT and he ran with it. And I want to say within like 4 years, he had started his own company and was like had a $2-3 million dollar company, $4 or $5 million company, you know what I'm saying, before 30. And then he, ended up selling that to some, company, and then doing the same work that he was doing there for another. So in Puerto Rico now. So he was always, and he had. It was funny, man, because when we were in Bolick, he had this clothing line that he was pushing, man. And I remember taking trips down to Florida State, seeing FAMU and Florida State right across from each other, and
they are.
Going to those parties, man, it was a fun time in life. I'll tell you that much.
I have spent some time on that I-10 corridor. I know it well.
Mm-hmm.
I was going from point A to point B, but let's just say it took a while to get to point B. I went to college in Central Florida.
Ah, okay.
I was in a long distance relationship with some girl out in Pensacola. That's a long drive across that I-10. So the brother need a couple pit stops.
Yeah, that's a long time. It's fun out there, though. He would be the most interesting that I can think of right off the top of my head. Somebody that he's definitely like the most interesting person I've seen so far outside my.
It looks like you're gonna get inboxed, and I'm gonna have to get some updates as you're working towards helping me getting them on this podcast.
Definitely.
Mr. Hines, you are off the hot seat, and we appreciate you coming on. I always like to see, after talking through, and this was very interesting, sir. Like, we're gonna do a part 2. but that's good. That's a threat to you. But that's good because I knew you were going to be interested. I knew this was going to be great. The time flew, but there's more I didn't even get to. And you know, because there's other parts of your life we ain't even talk about yet. I want to see, though, of some of the things that you've recollected, the listeners, you're probably going to send this to some family, some friends. You got any parting shots, any parting thoughts? Because what I would like to say, I don't know if I'm going to make the thumbnail. I like what your mom told you about what you could do with your stature. And it's eloquent as she gave you that guidance in life. But is there any parting shots, anything you'd like to leave us with?
Oh man, I would say, never limit yourself, because I've had a whole lot of different lanes that I thought I was going to go down, and I ended up going a different lane. And if I hadn't, if I limited myself, I think that would have, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I think the biggest thing I can say, just some parting words, is just don't ever limit yourself. Just take it by the hand and just keep on moving, keep on pushing.
Mr. Hines, this was great. Thank you for coming on. For those who don't know, this is a late Saturday night, but he stayed up and he gave us the business. So thanks again, sir. And listeners, like, subscribe, and leave in the comments. Let us know how soon you're ready for part 2 of Mr. Hines. We got more. We got more. We still got to cover with this young man. Definitely. Thank you, Mr. Hines.
Appreciate it. My pleasure.